Hi, today I will show how to issue the incoming Nota Fiscal for customs clearance. In IFS Cloud, the specific customs fees are handled as charges in the application. Make sure you have all the charges for each customs fees such as AFR-AMM, demurrage, international freight, Fiscal Max and Warfage properly created in the application and defined with the correct Brazilian charge category. In the Purchase Order page, enter a new record. Select the foreign supplier from the list of values. As you can see in this example, the currency used is US dollars, and the business transaction ID is fetched according to the default business transaction ID defined for given the supplier. Now save the record. And in the Part Lines tab, enter the purchase part. Define the quantity and save the record. In this example, we are using the external tax system Avalara for tax determination. The application is communicating the request file containing all the input attributes used for tax calculation. Once the response is received, you can check the CFLP code returned in the business operation field, as well as all the taxes details in line details, order line taxes. The Purchase Order Line Taxes dialog will show all the taxes found and returned by Avalara recorded for each tax code. I will include one more line for this example. Now I will confirm the purchase order. Let's create one more purchase order, and this time I will use the copy order option. Now I will confirm the second purchase order. In the two purchase orders that I just created, I didn't include any charges. Now, in the Incoming Dispatch Device page, enter a new record. Type some reference for delivery note number. Select the foreign supplier in the sender ID list of values. Set the actual ship date. Enter the 9-digit DI number in the Customs Declaration Number field. And set the DI date in the field Customs Declaration Date. Save the record. Now, in the tab Available Source Lines, you can see all the purchase order lines available for connection. Here, as you can see, the first 4 lines are related to the items that I added in the purchase orders that I previously created. I will select all of them and use the option Connect Part Lines. You can check the lines connected in the tab Part Lines. Now we have to inform the specific customs fees. Click the button to select all lines and then select the option Charges. In the Charges for Incoming Dispatch Advice dialog, enter the charges you have created to handle the specific customs fees in the importation process. In this example, I will include some AFRMM. And for that, first we need to define the invoicing supplier, which usually in this case are the broker. And I will select the method distribute charge by per line. As you can see, there are different methods here you can choose. In this example, I will use the option per line. And then set the charge price for the AFRMM. And save the record. Now I will enter more charges for the other specific customs fees. Warphage, Fiscal Max, demurrage, and international freight. Now click the option to select all lines and select the option Transfer Charges to Purchase Order. The field Transferred to Orders will change to Yes, indicating that these charges were distributed for the purchase orders connected in the incoming dispatch advice. Let's check the purchase orders. Here, as you can see, in the Charges tab, now we have all the charges that are included for the incoming dispatch advice prorated for the 2 lines that I have on each purchase order. In the incoming Nota Fiscal page, enter a new record, select the document type Import Nota Fiscal, inform the foreign supplier and the site. In the field Dispatch Advice, select the incoming dispatch advice previously created. As you can see, the purchase orders connected to the incoming dispatch advice are automatically copied to the purchase order reference field. Now save the record and use the option Copy Unreceived Purchase Order Lines to fetch the items from the related purchase orders. As you can see, we have the 4 items here copied for the incoming Nota Fiscal, and you can also verify the related charges for each customs fees which were distributed for the purchase orders connected to the incoming dispatch advice. And also you can check the tax details by selecting the button Tax Lines. Now we have to inform some additional info for the import process. Select the option Customs Clearance Info and in this dialog enter all the required information. Clearance location, clearance state, clearance date, transport mode, import mode, export code. It should be the same code as the foreign supplier. Addition number, addition sequence, foreign manufacturer code. and drawback number. When you select the OK button, the application will copy all the data informed for all the lines in the incoming Nota Fiscal. In case you need to do some adjustment, you just need to select the option again, inform all the data required again, and this will replace the previous data copied for all the lines. Now we can send the Nota Fiscal for the tax authority system selecting the option Send Nota Fiscal. In this scenario, we are using the external tax system Avalara for communication of electronic Nota Fiscal. As you can see, the Nota Fiscal is approved, and in the NFA CTE information we can check the response info. Here we have the 44 character keys, the authorization protocol, the authorization date, the issuing date, the authorization code and return message. Now select the option Create Supplier Invoices. In the Create Tax Invoices dialog, you have to define who is the responsible for the payment of taxes in this process. When the Company Pay Taxes toggle button is unselected, then you have to inform a supplier in the list of values broker, which is actually the broker in the process responsible for the payment of taxes. But if you select the toggle button Company Pay Taxes, then you have to inform the suppliers in both fields, federal taxpayer and state taxpayer, because in this case the company will pay the taxes directly to the federal and the state tax authorities. In this example, I will use the option when the broker pays the taxes, that means Company Pay Taxes toggle button is unselected. In this list, I will select the broker and click the OK button. Select the button View Invoices to see all the invoices created in this process. As you can see, we have two invoices, being the first one for the foreign supplier in the USD currency, and the second one is for the broker as supplier for the purpose of the payment of taxes. As you can see here, we have all the 4 lines as in the Nota Fiscal, and for each lines you can see the taxes which were calculated. Now it's time to register the arrival of the incoming dispatcher device in order to receive the inventory parts in the stock. You can do that by selecting the option Receive in the incoming dispatcher device part lines tab. In the Receive dialog, click the OK button, then Proceed. In the page Inventory Transactions History, you can check all the transactions created for the incoming dispatcher device received. And so, this is all about the incoming Nota Fiscal for customs clearance. Bye!